Right on this computer. All right. Now we are recording. All right. So good morning again, everyone. Welcome home. We're glad that you're here, definitely. I have to move this down. Oh, I know what I should do. Well, so let's say this affirmation together. We are a welcoming community where the vibration of love lifts us, the wisdom of the ages inspires us, and the science of mind teaching empowers us. So turn to someone in the room or in a chat room and say, I honor the path that brought you here this morning. Yes, very good. So I want to run through this list of announcements real quickly. I know for the Ukiah people, this doesn't help much. I mean, some of these things you can do though, like for instance, the Course in Miracles that Burl does on Mondays. Or on Tuesdays, we have a book circle. We've been reading a book called Living Untethered, which is by Michael Singer, and it is just amazing. It has so many wonderful things in it. And then we have a yoga class that afternoon with Kathy. Wednesday night, I'm hoping that the Eureka community goes to the LDS Center on Doleville at 7 o'clock to support our choir. Thursday, there's a yoga class in Eureka on Zoom at 4:30. We have Welcome Wellness. Actually, it's at 5. Sorry, I have the wrong times there because we changed it back. The Welcome Wellness group is a group where you can come in and ask for or state your intentions into the law and ask for support. And we all support you all week long. And I end the group with a treatment that names everyone in it. So you get a treatment by me as well. And then Saturday, of course, is Art with Louise. I do have slides for these other things. Now, how do I get rid of this so we can see what the slide says? Let's see, go to that one. Okay, that'll work. See, I don't have to do this anymore in Eureka, so I'm a little rusty. So as I said, the Eureka people are doing what's called the community sing this year. It's been called the Thanksgiving sing for years and years, and it's really a fun event. And so I want to remind Eureka that if you're participating, you have a rehearsal today at 11:15. The actual performance where you get to see lots of different faith traditions sing or do something. There's a bell choir. Usually that is that Wednesday night at 7 o'clock at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, if you were wondering what LDS meant. So let's go to the next one. This is going to be great fun, and you all can participate in this too, because Louise has been teaching her classes online. And I asked her a few months ago, would you do holiday cards? And she discovered this wonderful thing where you, like, if you look at this picture, you could do 9 cards at a time. And she has a Christmas or a holiday theme, maybe, for this Saturday. So it's Saturday, the 19th from 10 a.m. till noon. It's going to be great fun. And those of you who want to go to it, either let me know if you're here, and then put your, if you don't already know that you're on Louise's email, put your email in the chat for her. And Eureka, this is going to be quite fun. The concert will not be on Zoom, but the Sunday will, and Ukiah will get to hear their music, his music at the service. But we're calling this Homecoming Sunday, and we're inviting everybody back after the pandemic and those who haven't been in a really long time. We're going to have a potluck lunch, and I'm going to make some kalua pork, which is a Hawaiian thing, and rice, which is really delicious. And anybody wants to make something sort of Hawaiian-ish or tropical, that'd be great. And then at 12:30, we're having a concert that Wayne Kealohi Powell is doing for us. And those of you who saw him the times that he was at our center before, you know he's a very good musician. So I'm looking forward to next Sunday, definitely. And then I'm having I've had a Thanksgiving dinner. I used to call it Orphan Thanksgiving because it was for, in Hawaii, when I lived in Hawaii is when I started it. And so many people's parents or family lived on the mainland. So I had people over and so ever since, I don't know, 1986, I think I've been having a Thanksgiving dinner. And this year we're having it at the center, and it is potluck. And there was a sign-up sheet that you can't get to right now. But the turkey's being taken care of. I'm making my famous corn pudding and probably a dessert. And there's other things that are being made, like green beans. And if there's something traditional or non-traditional that you'd like to bring and you'd like to come, put your name in the chat. That'll be fun. The more the merrier. And then I wanted to mention that at the end of the month, Karen Blakely, our very own Karen Blakely, is going to be our guest speaker. So that's going to be fun. She's good. Yes. And my last announcement, well, last couple, we are having, once again, our free holiday decoration exchange. This is going to be great. And let Scott know if you want to volunteer with this, or if you have something that you want to bring to leave on the tables for people to take. That's a good thing. We all remember that the first time we did this, there were so many tissues being handed out because we were able to help a lot of people who had nothing after fires and various other things. Yeah, some here. You have some Christmas decorations here? Well, if nobody wants them, well, I'll take them. Bookstore, the books make really great gifts. Excuse me just 1 minute. If you don't know, I am a published author. You can see my book right here. It happens to be a daily, it's got a little story and a spiritual mind treatment for every single day of the year. Wow. So this is available through Amazon. So, I didn't buy enough to bring with me, darn. But yeah, if you want one, I could get one and send it to you. Well, we want to sign. Yeah. Okay, then I noticed that the coffee pot there is on top of some paper. And in fact, put your name and your email address on that if you'd like to get a signed copy of the book, and I will let you know what it costs and all that, okay? The other thing is that if you'd like to get my Friday message, which is what this book was made out of, 365 Friday messages, because I've been doing the Friday messages for forever. And this was published in 2013. I'm still doing them if you'd like to get it weekly, only it's not happening quite so weekly lately. You put your name and email address on that piece of paper and say Friday message. And Eureka, remember our little pantry? We're coming into a season where a lot of people are going to need things. I know that the people, I've talked to a few people who have been getting things out of the little pantry out in front, and they really appreciate the cans with the pop tops. They love the chili. One of the guys I talked to said, I asked him what was his favorite thing he found in these kind of food bank things. And he said chili and anything like pasta and things like that. We have way more than we need of top ramen, so please don't get that. But we do need some baby food, some milk, desserts might be good, fruit, etc. So, and don't make the canned fruit where you can't get the can open. You know, like if you can see in this picture, there's applesauce and peaches and stuff there in either bottles or packages. So thank you very much for everybody who's been bringing things. I know that our community really appreciates it. So this month has been all about home. And I love this, this little printing here, this little picture. Scott does such a good job picking out all the different, coming up with the ideas for the different themes. It's just wonderful. So thank you, Scott. I can't wait to see what he's going to do for next year. Next year's theme, by the way, is called Living Out Loud. So Terry is going to do our contemplative. So let's invite Terry up. Let me stop the share so it could be full camera. All right, Terry, come.
Right.
And thank you very much.
Sure. Thank you all. Lovely to see you. Hello, Eureka. We love you. Thank you for sending Angelica down our way. We love her too. So let's see. This is a short piece from oh, sorry. Oh yeah, can we have everybody mute yourselves in Eureka? And can you hear me okay?
They can't tell you because they're nodding.
They're nodding, yes. Okay, so now we are muted. Okay, so I found a book here in the library last time I was here, and it was called For the Love of God, A Handbook for the Spirit. And this piece by Howard Murphet was in it. It's an essay called God Lost and Regained. And since our theme is home this month, this seemed perfect for this reading. He says, "It is possible to reach home in this lifetime. And we are, in fact, here in a body in order to do just that, and to wake up to a divine identity and hurry back towards our homes. It may take more than one lifetime, perhaps many lifetimes after we have realized the purpose of our lives. But however long it takes, the result is certain. When we come to know our inner God, which is our true self, we will know that the divine is in everyone and everything. Every human soul will return to the Godhead from where it started. And in returning to where it began, will, in the words of T.S. Eliot, know the place for the first time." And now we will have a minute of silence.
I am part of the great mind of God, and God is all that I am. God is love, God is peace, God is life itself, and God is all that I am.
There is only one source at the center of all things. We call this holy presence by many names, but it doesn't really matter what we call it, so long as we remember that there is a secret place of the Most High within us, and that we may consciously enter into it by merely knowing that we are already there. This is the place where the universe meets us in its wholeness without any restriction whatsoever. This is the place where the all delivers everything that it is to us. All life, all health, all love, all peace exists in this power. Our loneliness, our sense of isolation, our poverty, our doubt, and our sicknesses are results of our being disconnected in consciousness from this divine self. Today, I let go of every inharmonious, limiting thought. I quietly turn within and acknowledge that inner presence of my own being. Uplifting feelings of harmony, grace, and love flow through me like a river, elevating my consciousness to a new and higher level of acceptance and unity. All good things are possible today. We are all manifestations of God's infinite grace and love. I release these truths to the one mind, knowing they are already so, and so it is. And now we welcome,
I am
Yes.
part of the great mind of God, and God is all that I am. God is love, God is peace, God is life itself, and God is all that I am.
Thank you, Jackson. Beautiful as always. And so now may I introduce the fabulous Reverend Angelica.
So for sake of the recording, I'm going to put the PowerPoint back up just for a moment. So thank you, Terry and Jackson. That was a good thing. Oh, and when you know it, now it's not going to. Come on, there we go. So today's message is called Roots and Wings. Only it's going to be a little bit different. For those Eureka people that don't know, this building that Ukiah members are sitting in has been sold. In fact, there's all this construction going on in the back rooms, which was really interesting to come in and see this morning. There's things all around the room that are giveaways for people who might be here. But when we think of this idea of home, one of the things that I know is that, as Maya Angelou said, the ache for home lives in all of us. And you know, this has been Ukiah's spiritual home for quite a while, this building. And so when I heard that it had been sold or was in escrow, I had this sudden clutching of my heart. And then I started thinking about all the people that have been through these doors and all of you who have been affected in some way or another by this center. And I thought about that idea that you're all going through that probably, that little bit of maybe a big clutch in your heart because the center, the building is now no longer yours. But you know, Maya Angelou once said that the ache for home is in all of us. And when I had this whole talk prepared, and then I realized that's not what I wanted to do at all. And this morning I woke up and I thought, what really is home? What is home? Well, I love acronyms. So home became House of My Energy.
House of My Energy.
The TV is talking to me. Anyway, the House of My Energy. And you know what? That made me then start thinking about, here we are. I mean, our bodies are our home. This center is our spiritual home. We each have a home of our own, hopefully. And what Albert Einstein said was that the most important decision we make is whether we believe we live in a friendly or a hostile universe. And so I need everybody to please mute themselves because I can hear you speaking and that distracts me, and you don't want to do that. So when I'm living in, whether I'm here in this building or in my physical home or in my physical body, I have to ask myself, do I believe I live in a friendly atmosphere? Is my home, the place where I have all my energy, is it friendly? You know, I watched a clip on YouTube not long ago about a pastor who was railing at his congregation about how they should vote. And I mean, really angry and forceful. And he was saying things about our president. He actually went and called him the devil.
What's the problem?
And I'm thinking, how could he do that?
More light on
In,
it. I can see you.
I need you guys to,
You see? Why?
It's Raymond.
I'm
Raymond,
gonna
please
mute
mute.
everybody. Okay, now everybody should be muted now, okay? So I just heard somebody say good. Who's not? Oh, that was Harvey. You mute yourself, Harvey. That was funny. Okay, take down the participants. All right. Dr. Holmes says in Living the Science Mind, he says, we are all carrying the negative experiences of our past into the future merely because we have not disconnected them from our minds. If we are creating a negative future, it is because we have not changed our thought about it. And thank God we can change our thinking and change our lives. So I want you that are sitting in this room or listening that are the Ukiah people to, and actually Eureka could do this as well. So let's begin by asking ourselves, is there anything negative that I'm still carrying that is attached to this center? And if it is, remember that even if the building sells, that attachment will still be there. So the Hawaiians have a process that they call severing the aka cords. And aka cords are something that's caused by our emotions that goes from our heart to whatever it is that we've attached ourselves to. Now, there are positive and negative aka cords. And I'm reading this book right now. It's actually a young adult book, but it's about this girl who goes to a school for paranormal beings, you know, vampires and dragons and all this, and they can shift into human beings all the time. But she who thinks that she's just a plain ordinary young woman who's about to graduate from high school, discovers that what she actually is a paranormal being, but her parents never told her that. But one of the things that I got from this book is she went inside of herself and she found these strings, like these cords, and some of them glimmered and some of them didn't. But it was like I immediately went, oh, there's the aka cords. So if I have a negative aka cord, what color might it be? Dark, probably a dark color, and not a pretty dark color. But it could be rusted looking, it could be who knows what a color. It could be a pukey green color. It could be, whatever. And so I want you to think for a moment, if there's any aka cords like that in you that are attached to this building, to this center. And if there is, I want you to allow yourself to unplug that cord and let it go. It is no longer necessary. We do not need to carry it with us into whatever our future is. And then go to your body. Think about this particular home, the home of your spirit. And look at those aka cords and see if there's one that has been harming you. It could be an illness cord. It could be I'm too fat or too old or too weak or not enough. And maybe there's a whole little cluster of cords. So let yourself imagine pulling those cords out. Remember, home is where you store your energy. And you don't need negative energy. As Dr. Holmes says, if we're creating a negative future, we're creating it because we have not changed our mind. And doing an accord thing allows us to change our minds. So maybe there might be an accord cord attached to a particular person that you might have met in this building. And so if there is, let yourself go within and remove that accord. And you know what? Once you remove them, they're not just going to be hanging out there with their cords dangling. They're going to transform. And so see those things that you've unattached from yourself glisten, begin to glisten, begin to become brighter and brighter until they just disappear. They're transformed by the light, into the light. One of the things that I was thinking about last night is Brene Brown's book, Braving the Wilderness. The title of the book is actually Braving the Wilderness, The Quest for True Belonging and the Courage to Stand Alone. And she says, belonging is the innate human desire to be part of something larger than us. And because this yearning is so primal, we often try to acquire it by fitting in and by seeking approval, which are not only hollow substitutes for belonging, but often barriers to it. Because true belonging only happens when we present our authentic, imperfect selves to the world. Our sense of belonging can never be greater than our level of self-acceptance. So when I think of home being where I store my energy, then I'm already thinking about spirit. And maybe in some faith traditions, you have to act a certain way or do certain things. Like when I was a little girl, I lived at a Catholic convent, girls' finishing school, sort of. A lot of good it did me. But I did learn how to use the right knife and fork, et cetera, et cetera. But anyway, but I was not a Catholic. And so I didn't feel right. I couldn't take communion with all my classmates. I couldn't do all kinds of things. So one summer after going home for the summer, I came back and I told everybody I had been baptized a Catholic so I could fit in. And, you know, it was a really neat experience to have that whole spiritual experience. I've always been into the spiritual stuff. So it was a great experience, but there was always this thing that was inside of me that was thinking, you're living a lie, you're living a lie, you're living a lie, which colored it then. So finally, one day I went to Mother Superior and I told her what I had done. And she said, she chastised me a little bit, and she talked about, she didn't talk about it being a sin, which was good. In fact, what she actually did was, let's keep this a secret between ourselves and let me participate. Well, then I got to participate, and there was no longer that little piece of me, that little piece of energy that was saying, this is a lie, this is a lie. Because I had basically been given permission to continue being a Catholic. This idea of not being our authentic, imperfect selves in the world is something that we probably carry with us until we don't. Some of us are carrying it still, no matter what age we are. But in my idea of home, the ideal home is spirit. And I think that's what Dr. Holmes would have wanted us to believe in, this idea that home is really spirit. And spirit, I mean, a church is a building. But the true church is within your own selves. It's whether you're doing your spiritual practices consistently. And it's also being at home in spirit also lets you be your authentic, imperfect self. I no longer really think, oh, I'm not as tall as I used to be because I've shrunk, but you know, I used to be 5'9", now I'm 5'6", which is kind of weird. When the doctor told me that, I was like, what? How could that be? But then she told me your spine does weird things. But anyway, the interesting how I go off on little tangents. Now I don't care about how tall I am, or even that I used to think I was way too big. And it was so funny because since I've given up recently, a few months ago, actually, demeaning myself to myself about being overweight, this morning I'm looking in the mirror in the hotel room going, wow, I've lost weight. And I didn't do anything to do it, you know, so this is really cool. Stop thinking I'm fat, and the universe goes, yes, my darling. And I get to be that way. Stop thinking about it at all, and I go to where I'm supposed to be. Spirit gives us a feeling of safety and belonging. I like that word, belonging. I mean, I think that's why a lot of us joined the church, is because we wanted to belong. We wanted to be safe in a place where we could have a different sort of faith tradition. We planted roots in this tradition. And the wonderful thing about this tradition is we could meet in a park. We could meet in somebody's house. We could meet absolutely anywhere, and it doesn't matter because we are the church. So somebody said one time that the greatest thing you could do for your children is to give them roots and wings. So I think that taking classes, getting really rooted in this faith tradition, or whatever faith tradition, because mine is science of mind and Catholicism and a little Buddhism and a little Hinduism and a little everything thrown in, which is probably like you have. But getting rooted in spirit gives us wings, the ability to be able to be who we truly are. It allows us to spread our wings and to honor those visions that the universe keeps giving us about what we're supposed to be doing with our life. And, you know, I know that as we get to the age I am, you start thinking, oh, well, I've done all my work. I don't need to do any of that anymore. I can just, you know, be retired and sit and relax. I don't know any retired people who sit and relax. Do you? They're volunteering, they're working in their gardens, they're taking care of the grandchildren, they're still being productive people. They're still spreading their wings and doing whatever it is that they can do. So I want you to consider for yourself what the word home means for you in the ideal sense. Think about how at home you feel in spirit. In fact, what does being at home in spirit mean to you? How many of you actually feel that you're at home in spirit? I know I do. I see heads nodding, that's good. You know, I happened to glance at my computer screen and I can see Louise there in a little box. And, you know, I bet you anything that Louise feels more at home in spirit when she's doing art than any other time, because she's an artist, right? Jeff, Jackson, Calvin, they probably all feel more at home in spirit when they're playing their music. To me, it's like spirit gave us talents, gifts. Spirit encourages us to spread our wings and use those talents to be free enough. If I had listened to the nuns when I was a kid and living at the convent, when I said, I'm going to be a priest. And they said, no, honey, you can't do that. Men are priests, women are not. I wouldn't be standing here right now. But it's interesting that I'm a survivor. I'm strong. I thought, I think I probably told Mother Superior, watch me. I think that was my response. Watch me. And so I'm not a Catholic priest, but I've been a Wiccan priestess. I've been, a minister for 40 years. Oh, no, 36 years, I guess it is now. I'm doing what the universe told me to do. I'm at home in spirit. And did what? Minister? No, I never communicated with any of them after I quit going there. Who knows if she knows or not? I don't know. I'm sure she's not alive anymore. She'd be pretty old. So let's just think about this. As we go into the holiday season, which is what we're doing, Thanksgiving and then Christmas and New Year's, this is the time when we really start thinking about families, about our experiences around these holidays, about who we want to spend them with, etc. And I'm going to challenge you today and invite you to, again, if you find a negative cord, if you find a negative thread or of energy, allow yourself to visualize pulling that thread out, unplug it, just like unplugging the computer, right? I'm going to say something though that just came to me, and that is I'm thinking, okay, you unplug the computer and it's gone. Well, it's not. They even tell you, computer people will even tell you that you delete files and they don't get deleted off the hard drive. They just don't go, the computer is told, don't go back to that space, right? Plus you believe you deleted it, so you're not going to look for it anyway, but it just keeps writing and writing and writing on the hard drive. It just goes to another space, but somebody who wanted to find it could. So we're not computers. We can allow ourselves to absolutely delete those files that no longer make us comfortable. And when you're thinking about deleting them, let yourself be grateful for the parts that were good. Because in every experience you have, there's something good. There's a blessing everywhere. It might be that you realize how strong you were. You might realize how that you were able to stand up for yourself, or whatever your blessing out of that experience might be. Let yourself be grateful for that as you unplug from it. And let yourself be in the moment. Ram Dass's book, Be Here Now, is just as powerful now as it was way back then. Because we can go to holiday parties with our families and experience just being there and experience just accepting everybody for exactly who they are. It doesn't mean we have to attach to anything, right? It allows us to me, being at home in our energy, no matter who you're around, lets us spread wings of love. Because that's our real job here, is to love everybody and everything. and every plant and every animal and every country and every politician and everything. So love, be love. Remember, home is the house of your energy. So I have an affirmation here that I would like to share with you. Let me go to the PowerPoint again. Okay, move. Move. There we go. Let's say this affirmation together and then we'll go into treatment. I am the hero of my own journey, rooted in wisdom and wrapped in love. I soar on the currents of faith, trusting sweet spirit to guide me home. How grateful we are that we can do this. How grateful we are that we remember that there's only one life. That life is God's life, and that life is the life that we are living right now. That roots us in our spirituality. So I know that as we take a deep breath, we allow ourselves to feel that feeling of being rooted in spirit. And as we feel what this feels like, we recognize that feeling of belonging. This is where I belong. We feel that feeling of safety. I am safe here in spirit. We feel that feeling of being tapped into something much greater than we could possibly ever imagine. We feel the feeling of being able to tap into a power that is infinite. And we know that as we state our intentions into this spiritual law, this power takes this law and makes it manifest in our lives. Sometimes in ways that we could hardly ever imagine. In fact, usually in ways that we could hardly ever imagine. And so I know for each one of us that this month, this week, as we contemplate this idea of being at home in spirit, we allow ourselves to feel that in truth, we are much greater than we've ever thought we were. Because we are an embodiment of the divine. We are an individualized expression of the one. And how glorious this is to know this. In this one is both love and law. And so I know for us that as we're rooted in spirit, we sprout our wings and we allow ourselves to shower the planet with love. We rise above everything. There is no need to be attached to anything, especially the negatives. We just let it all go. And as we let it all go, we feel ourselves be lighter. We feel ourselves rising. We're rising in spirit, spreading love absolutely everywhere. And so I know that each one of us is grateful for this. So grateful for recognizing this truth about ourselves and about each other. So grateful for being rooted in spirit and sprouting wings of faith. And I release these words, knowing that in some way this week, each one of us recognizes this. And so it is. Before I invite Calvin to sing for us, I wanted to mention one thing. I put on my Facebook page that today is World Kindness Day. So I'm inviting everybody to do as many kind acts as they can today. I mean, it doesn't have to just be today. This could be the beginning of a campaign of kindness, so to speak. So Calvin, let me stop the share and let you gift us with your beautiful voice and music.
Thank you very much.
I need to pin you so you show up as the main one. There we go. And I'll take my pin off. All right, there. Go for it. Yay,
Okay, according
Calvin.
to this very thing, this is a song. This is a
Wait.
song that I wrote a couple of years ago, but it's I think it fits.
Oh, you got it.
I am home in the heart of joy. I am home in the heart of love. I am home in the heart of peace. I am home. I am home in the heart of joy. I am home in the heart of love. I am home in the heart of peace. I am home. Joy in my heart, joy in my soul. Wherever I'm going, I'm already home. Love in my heart, love in my soul. Wherever I'm going, I'm already home. Oh, peace in my heart, peace in my soul. Wherever I'm going, I'm already home.
Thank you so much, Calvin. That was beautiful. Just beautiful. All right, let me put the
It was so nice when he was here. He used to be here.
yeah, it would have been nice for you to be here, but oh well. All right, let me put the PowerPoint back up again. So now is our opportunity to think about what we would like to donate this morning. So whether you're at home in a little Zoom box or you're sitting here in this room, think for a moment about what you'd like to offer. Let's say this affirmation. I gratefully give from the fullness of my abundance, knowing my gift blesses the center, all in it and beyond, and so it is. And for those of you who need it, here are the ways that you can make your donation. There's a basket over there, I noticed.
Well, the greatest thing would be for people to take stuff. Like taking all this stuff, that's how you can give to the church.
Ah, okay.
By
Taking stuff, yeah. But for Eureka, what's happening is they're Mary invited people to take things with them.
Oh, you can't see it. You have to pin.
Yeah,
I
you
want to
got it.
show it to them though.
Ah, well, he's
Can you do
not
that?
pinned anymore.
Can you do this camera?
No, I don't know how to do that.
Well, you just pin yourself. Just be like.
Oh, okay. Let's go back to me.
Okay, there you are. All right, here's all the
Pin me.
stuff.
Okay, wait.
Okay,
The other way.
Okay,
you got it?
Oh, got it.
Oh, you got the top of it.
now you got it too high. Yeah,
There we go.
All right, here's all that stuff.
all around the room.
Yeah, I'm part of the stuff.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Yep, there's some stuff back there.
Shit, can you do full screen?
Oh, full screen. Okay. Okay, there's some stuff. Go back over there to that table. There's
There's Larry, take
there's Terry. There's some chairs and some stuff. Wait, and you need to, yeah, let it. That table's all full of stuff,
See all those flowers?
flowers, etc.
And then we have some beautiful flowers that Victoria created. What did you want to do with those, Victoria?
Angelica had asked for. some-
Angelica's asked for some of them.
And Harvey wants.
Harvey wants
Oh,
the
yeah.
sunflowers. Oh, great. Okay, let's talk about that later. Okay, so so this is what I know for us, that we are so grateful to our source for absolutely everything. And whether we're giving or we're receiving, we know that it's all part of this wonderful law of circulation, and we're happy to participate in it, and so it is. So it is. So let me go back to sharing again. Okay, share screen. Go back to here. And then we got to wait for a moment for it to realize where it is before I move it forward. What we need is somebody to volunteer to read our statement of inclusion. Larry, wait just a minute. It's not up yet. And for when we're done here, I'm going to everybody online, except for the Ukiah people, can leave. We're going to do a little blessing for this building and for the new people that are moving in. Okay, here we go, Larry.
It's not the end of the world, it's just a new beginning. Skeeter flavors. Okay, we, the Eureka, Ukiah Centers for Spiritual Living, are communities that celebrate diversity, foster inclusion, champion inner work, create space for brave, vulnerable conversations. We are communities that honor the unique emanation of God that each person embodies and advocate with people for human rights and dignity for all. We are communities that bless each other, see sacredness in all life, remain learners and listeners so we may grow together, and understand that oneness is not sameness. We know our beloved community is revealed more fully when we love each other well.
All right, maybe Calvin could play the peace song.
Absolutely.
Okay, let me wait a minute. I want to, yeah, these,
Circle the wagon.
they want to circle up,
Go back there.
and I'm gonna add a pin again, so you're, hold on, just remove pin from this one, and let you be the one that's up here. Whoops, where did my screen share go? The word, no. Okay, wait just a minute. We know the words, so go for it, Calvin.
Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as our one source, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and it has begun with me.
Thank you, Calvin. We love you.
Thank you, thank you. And everybody will know where we're going to be doing this from next month later. Because we're off on this new adventure.
Yes, we are.
All right, I am stopping the recording. Thank you from everyone for being here this morning.